Hey gang, welcome to Your Marriage Matters with Jim and Christie Jacobus. Our goal is to help you lay the foundation of building the marriage and life you both have always dreamed of. Welcome to Your Marriage Matters with Jim and Christie Jacobus.
Hey, it's Jim
And Christie
Jacobus with Your Marriage Matters episode number 117, and I say episode instead of podcast because we're on YouTube.
Oh, yay. I so love being there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be fun.
Well, anyway, gang, so we're so excited to be here shooting our very first YouTube video, and you'll be able to find us now on YouTube at Your Marriage Matters, or still at the same podcast on Spotify, on iTunes, and all the other places you might be looking, as well as our website, yourmarriagematters.com. In a way of kind of starting things all over, we wanted to do a reset about why your marriage matters. But before I guess we do that, we should welcome everybody. So if you're here for the first time, welcome. Glad to have you. We appreciate you checking out either the YouTube channel, the podcast, whichever it is. We are dedicated to helping you and ourselves build more vibrant, healthy marriages. And if you've been with us for a long, long time, you know we've been talking about this. We're excited about this day's finally here. And we thank you so much for all of your support. So now if you actually want to see the two of us, you can catch us on YouTube. If you don't really want to see the two of us, you can just keep listening on podcasts. So, babe, when you think about Your Marriage Matters and why we started all this, why do you feel like Your Marriage Matters?
Well, the tagline has always been to help couples build more healthy, vibrant marriages. And we use that because we know how important marriage is, and we want to have a resource for couples out there who might be doing fine and want just some preventative measures or things that they could consider, along with people who might be struggling in their marriage.
Yeah.
This has been a difficult year for everybody,
Oh, wow.
and marriage has not been without some harm done because of all the stress that this pandemic has brought on. So it's funny, at a time where a lot of couples are wanting to spend less time with each other, we're doing stuff so we're having to spend more time with each other. So we're actually being able to experience what some couples are experiencing.
So where we're at?
Right now, we're in our RV. We're in Cooperstown, New York, or very near Cooperstown, New York, in a beautiful KOA, and you can see some of the scenery behind us.
Yeah, and you may be able to hear the motor of the lawnmowers going out there, and who knows what might happen now that we're actually shooting video. And we're trying to do this so there's not a whole lot of editing. Babe, I think about what you were just saying there, Your Marriage Matters. Obviously, our marriage matters to us. Okay, it's very important to our relationship, to our well-being. You know as well as anybody, it's important to our health, both physically, emotionally, spiritually. It means a lot to both of us to have a good, healthy marriage. And our marriage means a lot to Jason and Caitlin, Lachlan, Beckham, Decker, all of those three. Our marriage means a lot to them. It means a lot to my family, my sister, my brother Kenny, my other sister Barbara Kay. It means a lot to them. It means a lot to your mom and dad, your brother, and all of his family. Our marriage means a lot to a lot of people around us, because when it's going well, we can have a very positive impact on others. And when it's not going so well, it can not just have an impact on you and I. Marriage, when it's not done well or when it fails, has a rippling effect on a lot of people.
Right.
And so your marriage matters. Your marriage even matters to your community and to your work.
Right. Yes, and to the nation as a whole. It's been shown that people who are in healthy marriages can do better in their careers, better at work. There's less to consider the trauma that comes along when you're struggling in a relationship, especially one as important as marriage. It matters to children and how they're brought up. So when we came up with the title, Your Marriage Matters, it's because it truly does.
Absolutely. So our tagline is building more vibrant, healthy marriages. And so, babe, I know that we could probably do 20 podcasts on this, or actually we've done 116 podcasts on it. But if you were to give somebody out there maybe your one most important word of advice about how they can build a more vibrant, healthy marriages, what would you tell them?
I would probably start with the very basic: invest in your marriage. Invest in your marriage, invest in this relationship that matters so much.
Right.
Do the time, use the learning resources available to you, such as this, to improve your relationship. If better is possible, good's not enough. And people want to have a relationship that leaves a legacy also.
Right.
So I would say my best advice would be to invest in this relationship, invest in your marriage.
Right.
What about you? What would you say?
Well, again, we could talk about all different kinds of things, communication, conflict resolution, all of those. But I think for us, one of the most important things, and if you've been following us for very long, you know we talk about this a lot, is that to me, Team Jacobus is more important than Jim or Christie is. And a while back when you actually brought up the word Team Jacobus, and I loved it because I like the way it sounds. But when we started making decisions on what was in the best interest of the two of us, not just what Jim wanted or what Christie wanted, and we believed that the entity of Team Jacobus was more important than either one of us, then I think our marriage started taking a turn to get even better than it was.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that what I need doesn't matter, and it doesn't mean what you need doesn't matter, but we always ask ourselves, in light of what's best for the marriage. Mm-hmm. Is that a good thing for me to do? Is it a good thing for you to do? Does it matter at all? Sometimes it doesn't. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if you and I are committed to doing what's in the best interest of this relationship, you and I both wind up getting the best for us out of the same thing. Mm-hmm. And so I think too many times when we see couples that are struggling, I know I certainly saw it in the divorce care, and I know you see it in your counseling room, it's because one or both of the members of that team have decided that their needs are more important than the others. Mm-hmm. Their needs are more important than their children's needs or whatever. Marriage is a place where we get to learn how to be self-sacrificing, mm-hmm. How to be selfless instead of selfish. And I think God actually put marriage together for us to learn how to love each other unconditionally the same way that He loves us. Mm-hmm. And so I really feel like for us, Team Jacobus became a huge turning point. And that helped us whenever it came to making better decisions. So I think those are the kinds of things that help. If you were going to encourage everybody out there as we close this video down, what would you encourage them with today?
I would say the major encouragement that couples should do is think about this as we always say, encourage your spouse. Be there for your spouse. Bring joy to your life. If there's one thing you can do to bring more joy and more happiness into your life, I know times are tough. I know it's a struggle. But think of one thing you could do today that could add joy and happiness into your relationship. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. I know that for us, and this may not be your belief system, but praying for each other every day, I think it's been a huge opportunity for us. It's kind of hard to start our day off praying for each other and having that sort of thought toward each other and then act like a jerk later on. Doesn't mean that I can't or you can't, but it makes it a little tougher. And again, I think it's just more about just saying, hey, look, I love you, I'm thinking about you, and I want the best for you today. So again, thanks for joining us on this very first YouTube. I thought it went pretty smooth. Anyway, we're going to get better at it. If you have any ideas for us or any thoughts, let us know. We're going to continue on and share with you a lot of the things that we've taught in our podcast from the very beginning. We're actually going to do a video that tells you a little bit about our story, how we ended up in a fifth wheel in New York State, on our way to Maine. We'll be doing some videos from up there as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you guys, babe. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I love you and adore you. And I can't wait to do some more videos with you.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Your Marriage Matters with the Jacobuses. And if you enjoyed the podcast, we encourage you to share it with your friends. We are growing like crazy because you are passing it on. So thank you. That's it for today. We'll see you next week on Your Marriage Matters. Have a great conversation this week.